This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, let me know when you're able to see my screen.
Yeah, we can see it, Shivan.
Okay. Oh, it gets too slow. Okay. So let's get started. So these are the topics that I thought we would cover it by today. So mainly towards the scripting and basically the most important part being the testing. So how we test an API, and then how we use scripts in both prerequest section and also there is test section, and then how you define your scripts at 3 different levels, and when you define at 3 different levels, what priority or the order of execution takes place, and then how do we do assertions, that is creating a test case in Postman, and then we using that, how can we check our API response, and then how can we run collections from command line interface, and for that we would require Newman, and then we would go to the data driven testing. So with this in place, so let's start. So scripting, here in Postman, let me show. We have a provision that like Postman offers a features. I mean, for as far as scripting is concerned, you can select, let's say we select this API. I mean, this API, again, you will find it in that GitHub that you had downloaded. Maybe it would be in the chapter 1. So the scripting can again further be defined at 3 different levels. First, in the collection level, same way like authorization. In authorization as well, we had at 3 levels. Like you could do it at collection level, or you can do it at a folder level, or you can do it at the request level. And then when you do it at all the 3 levels, it's very important for us to know like how the order of execution takes place. So for that, let's get started. Let me make a folder here. I'm making a folder. Let's say I'll name it as a demo or something name like that. And then I am taking this request. Let me copy this request, duplicate it, and take this request there. Just drag and drop it here. Okay. So let's create a script first at collection level. If you see here, you see there are 2 tabs. So before we start, it is important to know, in this scripting thing, there are 2 sections. Like one is pre-request, that the one that I'm showing it here, and then we have tests. And I think we know it earlier. Whatever scripts you define under the pre-requests, those will get executed before your request hits the server. And whatever scripts you define in the tests tab, those requests will get executed after you receive a response from the server. So, and here it is mostly, let me close all these things. I get Star Wars API. So before we do this, you might be knowing like the scripting takes place in JavaScript language. So it's not very tough. I mean, you can learn as and when doing exploring and all. So just to give you an sample, that is, I'm just writing a console.log statement here, which is nothing but a print statement like stuff, like system.logout, the way you print anything to the console. Okay, let's say I'm giving just a message. I am inside collections prerequisite section. Okay, so let me copy this and put the same here for tests in the test section. Okay, we defined the scripts here. Now let's go to the folder section, open the folder, and then give the same. Let's use this documentation. come here to Star Wars, copy this, and I'm just giving in the folder level again. And this is the test section. Okay. Now let's open this request, get people request. So, and here let's define the same. So we are inside at the request level under pre-request section, and again at test, I give the same, and we are at a request level in the test section. Fine. So we defined it all the three levels. Now you give a save this one as well, and save this one too. Okay. Now when you hit send this request, then let's see what happens. Okay, for your this, so we have to see in the console. So this is how we already got, I mean, a success response here. To look into the order of execution, the way it takes place, if you come here to your console, it's opening. Okay, let me clear and again hit it. Okay, maybe you will get confused. Okay, now go. Now if you see here, first it executed whatever the scripts, whatever we defined the scripts under the pre-request section for the collection, and then it executed from the folder, and then it executed the request, and then the request got hit. This is the request with all these headers and response we get here, and after this request got hit and we got a response, we are the postman is executing the tests, the scripts, whatever we defined in the test section, and again in the same order, like the priority being the first collections getting executed, and then the folder getting executed, and then the request getting executed. So that's how the execution order takes place. Then any doubt? Then moving on, let's say any doubts, team?
Not now, Shivani.
Okay, fine. So let's say then let's move on to the next topic. And here you can also show timestamps. I mean, just for better filtering your data. Come to Postman. Okay, then moving on to the next one. Now this is about testing in Postman. I mean, how you create your test cases. So if anyone has any, any prior idea of kind of TestNG thing, I mean, if you work in TestNG, you have kind of assert class. So what does that do? The assert class would compare expected value with the actual value. So it is somewhat similar to that kind. The Postman also offers a feature somewhat similar to that. So let's say I am going to this request. Okay, it's the same one. Okay, let's say we come to the tests here in the test section. Yeah, and you see some snippets here. So these snippets are nothing but these are some templates like JavaScript ready-made code templates, which you can use as per your requirement. So under this, if you see, there are lot many things that you can do with this kind of snippets. Let's go on and see the status code one. So you just have to put your cursor at any line and then click on this one. So this, when you click, this gets automatically populated here. So the pm.test is a kind of object in JavaScript. So this is taking two arguments, like this being a string, it's pretty obvious, and then this is a function which is an kind of an anonymous function, and this anonymous function like pm.response to have, this is itself defined here with body. I mean, if you see the curly braces here and here, it is ending here, and pm.test being a different object. So this is taking two argument, one being string and another being function, and this function that is being defined here is returning a Boolean value. And what this function is doing, this function is checking that response, whether the response is having a status of 200. So let's say if we can do it like checking you can create a test case like this is how you can create a test case. Like let's say you check the status code. Okay, and then when you click hit send, you see this, although we got all the status thing and all, in the test results section, it shows 1/1, meaning like you had one test case here, out of which one has already, since it is in red, it shows passed, because the status code what we received was 200 and it is same as this one. Like you're validating with the expected one with the actual one. Let's say if you want to alter it here, if you alter it here like to anything else, and you can see how it behaves. If you hit send, it would fail because you changed your expected one, but in actually you're getting 200, but in expected you have changed, so it got failed, and you would get this error, I mean the message here, which is what is causing it to fail. Clear?
Yes.
Okay. So, and then there are few other things, I mean lots of things which you can try it out. One more important thing to note here being, I mean, whatever the tests, you can club multiple tests within a single request. As in, let's say I clubbed, I checked for status code now. Let's say we will check for the another snippet, what we have here. Let's say we check it for response time is less than 200 seconds. 1 second. You need to have it in the new line, the cursor, and then you click there. Let's say we will have the response time checked for less than 200 milliseconds. So this is again the Postman is, I mean, creating on its own the JavaScript, and this being again the same. Having two having two arguments here, one being string and again the same anonymous function, and this function is checking whether the response time that the server is taking is less than 200 seconds. So let's say send, and it shows like one is passed, the status code is passed, while the response time is 415, which is not below 200. Okay. And the important thing what I told is like whatever I mean assertion or the validation that you're doing here, these functions are like asynchronous in nature, as in they don't depend on one another. I mean they can go independently. I mean the one that we defined in line number 5 will not wait till this has been executed and then it would start. It will go and it would execute. So like they are independent, to say. So that's how you can check. I mean, like some other things. Let's say you can check. Yeah, I had done with like last time. I can show you this one. Come to the tests. Let's say here we have this one like the body match, the response body has a string. You can see response body contains string. If you click this one, this is the one that you get here. I mean, it checks in your response in the body if it has a string called Luke, and then it would validate. So the basic purpose being validating as per your API, requirements. You would have your, the developer would have built your API in such a way. So you have to validate whether your API is functioning that way. So this is how it is being achieved. Further, you can also go and read, more about JavaScript. So, you can also define your own JavaScript validations here. So we did this one, or I will show you here only. Let's say I will go delete and let's check for the response. Response body is equal to a string. Let's say you have to give it here the string what you want to compare it. The expected one has to be given here, Luke, and I think that should be fine pretty much. Yeah, body matches string, and this one is okay. Maybe I gave this one body is equal to string. Let's see what it does. Okay, because I gave body is equal to string, it is matching all the characters, so it is failing. There are two. Okay, see, it is expecting. If you see here, let me make it more. It is expecting the entire thing, whatever we have in that array, the name, the everything. If you come to the body, see the name, height, everything it is expecting by this thing. So if you have a requirement like it has to match, so you can use this way, the snippet. Let me show you the one that I was trying to contains one. Body, response body contains string. Okay, body matches string, and then string you want to search. Now, if you go, it is showing as pass. And similar way, you can also check for the response headers. Let's say I check. Let's say if I'm checking for this response header, whether the response header is having this content type. Okay, and then you again hit send. It shows yes, the content type is present. Let's go to the body and let's see. Let's go to the header and see, check it out. If in the response you have the content type, yeah, the content type is there with this value application/JSON. So that's how you validate. Okay, clear?
Yes.
So we had response, checking response header. Okay, I will show you this prerequisite environment variable. So maybe I am not, I don't remember, but in variables section we dealt with this. How to set the environment variable. So one is being, when you create your environment there, you can set it. And then you can set it, only environment variable, you can set it while creating a new environment, and there you can set it. And in prerequisites also, you have this option of setting. Let's say I will define an environment variable here. Let's say set an environment variable. Okay, and I will give this one, we are fetching one, I mean, it is kind of a people with ID 1. Let me define it with a variable people ID. Okay, people slash underscore ID, and the value I will give it here is 1. Okay, and then I will refer it like with curly bracket. But then it is important for us to see it is unresolved variable, because can anyone say why it is showing as unresolved variable?
Environment is not in the same.
Yeah, we did not associate with the environment. That's right. So this is Star Wars. So let me have the Star Wars environment. Is there any environment variable defined there? Okay, let me delete this. What is showing? The variable.
Because we did not save this people ID in the environment. We only deleted the person ID, right?
It's not defined in the active collection, environment, or globals. Okay, let me hit send here. Will it work? Yeah, now it has created. Yeah, because why? The pre-request section will always, I mean, this is a kind of dynamic way. If you understand, while we execute it, before executing, it will set the environment variable. Okay, you got that? And this is way you are again, I mean, before executing, before hitting the server, it's, I mean, the request gets hit to the server, you are defining in this while creating the variable. So now when you executed it, now it is able to, the issue got resolved, and it is able to refer to the variable that we created.
Shibani,
Okay.
so if we have defined this variables people ID in the environment as well, I mean not in this pre-request script. What if we have defined? You had earlier, you had it right in the environment. You had this set, this variable
Yeah.
set people ID.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if we have that, then we don't have to mention here. Is that how it
Correct.
works?
Correct. If, I mean, there are different ways to define. Either you can define it here, and you can define it there. But let's say define it both places, then there is a scope. I mean, there is a priority. Which one they would would refer first.
Yeah.
The local one will get more priority.
The local one, as in this test
This
script.
one, request one. Yeah, request one. Yeah, that is will get more priority.
Okay. Thanks, Shibani.
Okay. So then moving on, what else is left? We covered this one. Then moving is okay. Now let's move on to running your collection from command line prompt. So for that we would require the Node.js, and I think we did it in the first class. No, you all can check it out. Let me exit from here. Open a fresh command prompt. New one. You can check for your installation of Node.js. I think I have already installed it, and npm will also be there. Now we need to install Newman. I have already installed Newman. I can give you the command. I mean, this is the command to install your, once your Node.js or npm is installed. Because we already covered that in the first class, I'm not repeating. But in case if anyone, I mean, you just can Google it out to install Node.js. You can refer to the official page and get those installed, Node.js and npm as per your configuration. Anyone wants me to repeat that?
No.
Okay. And this would be the command to install your Newman. I will ping it in the chat. This is the command to install Newman. You can install Newman. I have already installed it here. Let's see how we can run our collection from the command line interface. So once you have installed Newman, it would get installed and you can verify it in your C drive. If it is installed, it will be under users, and I think it will go here. In case you're not able to find it, then enable your hidden items there under app data, under roaming, and then here under npm node modules. You see Newman has got installed. I think I had a Newman folder also. No? Okay. Yeah, it's already installed. And then you come to Postman. You export any kind of your collection. Let's say I will export this collection, Star Wars. Click on this 3. Export. It will get exported as JSON file. Let me keep it here only in C drive. Let's make users. Users under Sagar. Okay. You can make, if you want, you can make a new folder. Once your JSON is exported, then you can navigate to that path. Since I already kept it in this path only, I created a folder there. So I can just go to cd exported Postman path. So I'm already in that folder. Then you give the command Newman run the file name. What was the file name we got? I think it should be Star Wars. Okay. So this is how you run.
Share this command also, Shivani.
Huh? Can you come again?
No, can you please share this command in chat?
Okay. It is Newman run and the name of your JSON file. And make sure you are in the same path. Or if you are not in the same path, you can navigate to the same path. Going to that drive and then giving cd and that folder name.
Okay.
Okay. So if you see, this is the how we got everything executed here. I mean, all the requests, I mean, how many iterations, test scripts, pre-request scripts, and what are the assertions. So what all it gives you the data, I mean, kind of report kind of structure. You can also do it in a remote way. I mean, you can run your collection in a remote way if you have the public link of your collection. And how to get the public link? Click on this view more and then share collection. Yeah, share collection, get public link. You see, you have this public link. Copy this public link, and but the main requirement is, I mean, in case you want to run it via public link remotely, the remote system must have Newman installed. It's the same way. Instead of giving the name of your folder and the name of the JSON file, you can just give the public link. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I check response body contains string assertion other that is name. Which one? Okay. *1. Close. I did this one only, no? Star Wars. Tests. Okay. Body function. Which one failed? It showed. It showed expected 172. Okay. Check response body contains string. Oh, one assertion has got failed. Okay. Let's see the assertions then. Which one has got failed? This is only body matches. Okay. And then response header 1 to tests. Content type. I don't have that. No. 172 one. Why it is showing as failed? Did I do it from right? Let me do it again. Star Wars API. Your test name expected 172 in assertion and test script insert. Check response body contains string. Matches string. Then here is status code response time. Okay. And what does this mean? Star employment. Response time again, status code. I think it is taking it from my older one. I don't know why. Let me give, instead of this link, I give it from the exported one, let's see, Newman run start. See, okay. I think there is some problem. Yeah, the postman this link, because earlier I had defined it one assertion. So, hope you're not confused, or is anyone confused? I got it, because here the one that I'm running it from my local, which I exported, it is the updated one. But why we are getting the error there, one assertion being failed, because maybe my postman link, the one that I got it here, the public link, it is some problem. It is taking it from the older one. This is where in the older one I had a assertion which had compared the, it showed that 172 one, right? So it was a comparison between the height. If the response is having the height, so that's where the assertion was failing. I don't know why, so I'll look into that. Hope I mean none of you are confused. And so this is the way we run it from the command line prompt by using Newman. Okay, clear? Any doubt?
Yes, Shiban.
Okay, fine. So let's move on to the data driven testing. We have still time. So for data driven testing, it's nothing but you use data. I mean, the way you are parameterizing the value in the tests portion. I mean, let's say, okay, let me open that API. Let me open this API. Data driven testing. Okay, yeah, this one. Let me close all of them. Save changes. Demo practice. Okay, fine. So the data driven testing, as the name indicates, like you use the data to be provided to your testing, I mean to the request from an external file. Like the external file could be of a JSON type or it could be of CSV type. So you use that to parameterize your variables. I mean, whatever till now we have seen, like whatever variables you are defining it here, and you're referring it those variables in the scripts, be it be at collections level or be it be at some other level. I mean the way like global level or the local level. So now when you give the data, you provide the data to your requests by using an external file. So that's how we define it, the database testing. So let's see how we can do that. So for that, I'm just considering taking this API, the one that we had created it in the local. So let me see if the server is still running. Yeah, the server is not running. So let's start the server. For that, we need to exit the command prompt. Open the command prompt again. Let's start the JSON server. Does anyone remember that example, that command to start the JSON server? I wrote it somewhere. Yeah, maybe here. Yes. Start JSON server. Okay, it should be there in this link. Okay, yeah. Thank you, Jitya. Okay. Just got started. Let's see. Okay. So here we have created, I have created some few of the records here, some resources here, like with first name, last name, subjects ID and all. So we will work on this API. Let's go to the Postman. Let me open this API and let's create a let's open the post request. So here I'm just, so if you remember in the post request, we had directly hard coded our value. So what we did, instead of these all values, we had given our whatever value we wanted to give. Let's say I will again change it to here. Let's say we will hard coded it. So when we use this requests body and then we send, so this has got created with a new record of this one, which you can go to this site and also check it out. Yeah, so it has got added. Now instead of hard coding here, you can use the you can parameterize these values by using a variable, and that can be provided either via JSON file and or via CSV file. I have already made a JSON file which I can show you, or I made a CSV one which I will show you later. Now let's do it via JSON. There's nothing difference, so you just have to give. In fact, the CSV one is just pretty simple. You give these all things, the variable name as the column headers, and you enter the value. Let me show you the CSV one first, and then we will create a JSON file and do it in that way also. So where is my CSV file? So yeah, so this is the CSV file that I had created. So if you see, you can create this column header with the same variable name, and then you can give your values here, and you come to your collection. I had just created this one using a CSV one. Let's say I will, and how do you run that? You can run it from running the collection as such. You can click those three dots and come to run collection. Let's say deselect all. But prior to that, let me alter the values here. I have already added this. I'm just altering some other. Okay, let it be like this. Save. Okay, so I saved it here. Here goes. And here you click the run collection, and when you get the when you click on run collection, it navigates to this page. Here I'm just you can either go with all the requests, because when you do the run collection, it will run all, it has this provision of running all the requests under that collection. But since I will do it just to show you the CSV format for this post one, I have selected this one. Then you must select your file here. I think I have saved it in the desktop. Okay, when you select it, since I had added 2 records, it is showing me 2 iterations. And in order to see if everything is okay, you can go to a preview and see, yeah, it shows correct. Okay, this is how the values will get added, and then you get run. See, we got the status as 201 created, and if you click here, it will show you the request URL, request headers, and request body and response headers. Let's say if you want to see the response body was not locked. Why? into console. Show timestamps. We executed now at 8:29. Okay, this one. Okay. Response request. Okay, see, this is how this is for the second one, and in the top we will find the first one. Let's say, let's check it out in the server. I mean here. Yeah, see, these are the two records that we added. So in the same way, we can also create a JSON file. So I'm just really running late. I'll just show you how to create a JSON file. It is same as like you create a text.txt file. Let's say you come here, give new, give txt. Let's say local API and change the extension .txt to JSON. Okay, change it. Come here and you can copy it from this JSON file. Let's say I will copy these two records only, and then you come here. In JSON, this indentation is very important. So, and you have all this various online JSON formatter also, wherein you can check, and if at all there is anything, any issue, they will show you. So you just create a JSON file, just alter any values, any ABC value. Okay. You don't require the IDs here because that will get automatically regenerated. You don't need comma here, and you don't need. Okay. So just save it. And now in the same way, you can come to Postman console. Postman run the collection and give your JSON file. If I give run again, okay, maybe it is taking, we have to change it here only. Click this to run collection, deselect all. I will do the get people copy only. Select this one. No. I was doing on another one, right? Sorry, not this one. Demo. Where is my demo? Yeah, this one. Demo practice, run collection. Local API JSON. Okay. It shows here. When everything is fine, it will show here, and then you can run. I think it did not get created. We need to change there is some problem in the JSON file. Maybe you can copy this one and check it out here.
Shivani, looks like it's in an array, so do you need a curly brackets?
Yeah, we need this one. No, it is two arrays we are using. This is one and this one. There is some issue with the formatting, I think.
Above the array, you need a curly braces and end the curly braces. I don't know.
This one.
Is that like you need to define the array name, like users or subject?
I think so. Here we have users, right? No, we don't need this. I mean, it is just like this from here to the same way, like this square bracket, and then one curly bracket ends, and then another value starts with this one, and then it ends here. Okay.
Okay.
Away.
But you have above the array, you have one curly braces, but that's not there in the notepad.
Above the
Square
which
bracket, you need to have a curly braces on top?
this one line number 11.
Yeah, after the square, do we need a curly braces in the end?
Can you tell me the line number you are saying? Which line number you are saying?
After 14, do we need a curly braces to end it? Is my question.
No, we don't need
We
any
don't
curly
need it?
braces.
Okay.
Yeah, because the ending should be by the square bracket.
Okay.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Let me take. Okay, let me give validate here. Valid JSON it is showing. Okay, let me take from here, and I'm really running late for my class. Okay, Control S.
Shibani, you carry on. Yes, yes. Because yeah, we can do it in the next class. Okay.
Yeah, this is just a one last thing, Tim. I'll just try to show it. Demo local. Okay. What is happening? First name, last names. Oh. I think it is the variable name is first name, last name, subject's ID. I think it is different here in this one. Yes. See, F is capital here. It is not able to do that. That's why I did not change it here. Okay, that was the issue. This is first F capital and this is L last is capital, and subject's ID is I and D. Okay. Subject's ID. Yeah, this is again. That's the issue. Now let's try it out. Okay, Control S. Now you come here.
Shibani, the second object, first name, last name.
The second one, you didn't change the first and the last name for caps.
Okay. The second record, is it? Good, yeah, thank you. Okay, controllers, all good. Deselect all, select this one, select file, come here, local API JSON, preview. Okay, first name, last name, subject's ID. Okay. See, now it got created. Okay. Let's check in the console. This is the last one. Yeah. Response body. You see term and this one. So this is how you include in your data in an external file and try to do this parameterizing your variable. So that's all I had for today. So maybe few had asked me like how I'm referring and all. I just send I'm just looking this online materials, and there is lots of resources in this Postman documentation that you can go through. Along with that, there is a Kindle book that I'm referring. The details maybe I can ask Tim to share. I got it from Tim, in fact, and that's a really very wonderful resource which you can go through and just try to replicate and explore more. So good luck, guys. So hope you enjoy doing more in Postman. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shibani.
Thank you, Shibani.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Shibani.
Thank you, Tim. Yeah.
Thank you. Quick thing before you guys log off. 0809. Any of the folks who had concerns about Friday classes, in the 9:30 to 10:30 p.m. slot, please drop me a message one-on-one. I will see what can be done. Okay, so please drop me a message and we will figure out. Don't worry about it. All right. Okay, guys, take care. Have a good night. I'll see you guys in the next class. Take care. Bye bye.
Thanks, Tim.
Thank you. 10 we will begin in a bit. All right. So, did you guys get a chance to, work on the assignment that was given, the APIs, the recipe APIs and all?
Yes, Tim, we did.
Okay, awesome. Do you want to show what you have done?
We were just supposed to come up with links, where it was basically, like providing free APIs, like for recipes and, like the nutrition combined.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is correct. That is correct.
Yeah.
See, just to let you, give you guys an update, your project sessions will begin from tomorrow. Okay. So tomorrow, same time. So now what will happen is two things are going to happen. One, your Selenium classes are going to start. Selenium classes will begin either day after tomorrow or might be, because Friday is a holiday in the US. Everybody wants Friday and Monday holiday because of the long weekend. So we may either we will start day after tomorrow, or we will start next week after the holiday is over. So your class timings will remain the same, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but your project sessions will begin. All right, your project sessions will run Tuesdays and Thursdays. So it's the same bridge, same time, no changes to that. Project session is where we will go and start working on these recipes. All right, there will be people from other batches also working on these projects, so you guys will be working as a team. Um, just like any company and all of that, you'll have project teams and all. You have project codes assigned also. Once the project codes are assigned, please remember your project codes so that anytime I'm discussing something, I'm asking for the project code. You guys are, your project code. The other thing is, for some people, 5 days a week might be a little difficult. I would highly encourage all of you to join the project sessions. Because there is a lot of learning that happens just by attending and just by listening in. But in case it is very difficult, 5 days a week, your group members can definitely provide updates for that. That does not mean that you are not working on the project. You are working on the project. It's just that at a stipulated time, if you're not able to come 5 days a week, your group member can update on the project. But try to attend. Just by listening in, you will learn a lot of things, because so many projects are discussed there, number one. Number two is that like you have many brainstorming sessions that happen in this project. These project sessions will actually teach you more than the classes. Trust me, the classes, things you will learn. 3 weeks you will forget most of it, but the project sessions are where you will learn the most, because we do a lot of discussions. Like, I'll tell you the top 3 problems people have encountered in projects, have put on their resumes, have encountered in the projects, have solved those problems, put it on their resumes, got interview calls based on those problem statements that I mentioned in resume, and got jobs. All right, trust me. Many people, exactly the problems that you will face in project are the kind of questions you get in interviews. Like, okay, tell me a problem that you faced in an interview, in a project, and you will have numerous problems if you work on these projects. And it's not about just working on them. When you are part of these project discussions, you get to listen to other people's problems as well. Let me ask a question to all of you. Which one do you think is a better approach? Scraping the internet, collecting data from internet using Selenium, putting it in a CSV and loading it, in a UI screen, in a web page, or scraping all the information, putting it in a CSV, moving that CSV data to the database, and then call the UI page will call from the database, not directly from the CSV. Which one is the better approach engineering wise? One by one, put your response. Don't go for, blurt. Think a little bit and then put your response along with why. For folks who are saying CSV to database, why? And folks who are saying CSV, why? You have to, in any interview, there is a format. You have to answer everything is how and a why. The how is not complete without a why. Whenever you answer something in an interview, you have to give your explanation, like this is how I will do it, and this is why I will do it. This is missing in many people's interviews. You have to, guys, to practice it. You will learn it. Always it's a how and a why.
So Tim, you want us to write or you want us to say?
Say, yeah, I think talk.
Write first. Write first. When you write, your mind will be more collected.
Tim, we have so many to write, so much to write.
Yeah.
It's
Okay,
better to.
all right. Then we'll go one by one. Hold on. hold on.
Yeah,
Who wants to go first?
I'll go first because I said CSV.
Go.
Okay. I think, like the first advantage is, like because CSV means, let's say you have information coming in from different, like places, like let's say, like a third party is involved, like some kind of vendor, who's actually providing you information and all those things. So CSV, like it's more easy to manipulate and change the data. Like because like the control is still at like the file level, like where it is more easier to manage and change, like if you have to update or whatever it is, because you're not going to be hitting the database every time. And the other thing is, like I said, like if there are many parties involved, you don't have to really like let them like access the database, or like provide them something, like so that kind of hassle is going to be avoided. So like I would definitely prefer a CSV because like it is easier.
Okay. Others who,
Um,
I think Kavita is the only one with
yeah,
CSV. Anyone else with CSV?
No.
no.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, so I prefer database because operations in the database will be quickly data retrieval, entering the data, storing the data. Those operations will be very easy, and it will be very fast uh, in against the CSV. Um, yeah, that's all. Also, even if we store a huge amount of data, the retrieval options will be faster.
Okay. All right. Others?
Tim, this is Usha.
Yeah.
The thing is, if we have data, I always go for database. The thing is, we can store, manipulate, and we can alter the same data, and we can use different staging environments, and we can access from the database. And for the data mining purpose, and for archiving the database, it's much more easier compared to CSV files. So that's what I thought.
Okay. All right. Others?
Yeah, Tim, I also think in the same way because database is like you can organize the thing and you can get the structured information. Also, it has better data what we say integration, and most of the time the benefit is you can recover the data and you have a backup always safe. So I would prefer a
Okay.
database.
Tim, I would also
Okay.
like to clarify one thing. When I meant CSV, it doesn't mean that, like your data, like the information transfer is just going to be there. And then, like whatever you want to use, like of course is eventually going to end up in, like in a database where, like the actual information is going to be used from. But then, like this stage where, like the transformation happens, where you're going to be collecting data from all the stage, that's where, like I see a CSV, is more advantageous.
Okay. All right. Others? Anyone with different viewpoint than what has already been discussed?
Actually, I agree with, not different, but I agree with Usha and Janvi that we can organize and structure data, and we can, whenever instead of hitting directly to the data, we can do the custom table so that data can be, instead of uh, the data storage will be, what I, the I'm not able to explain, but the memory will be lesser because of custom table. Yeah, that is
Okay. Okay. Anyone else? Any other viewpoint?
Also, if we need operations like sorting or etc. on that data on the data, and if it is huge, so there will be a considerable difference between the CSV and the database.
And moreover, for reporting purposes, also we need to use the database, right? For if we give some queries, we can get data, right? So from the CSV files, it's much more difficult for reporting.
Usha is completely talking from her DBA perspective, like. Okay. Got it. Got it. Anyone else with any other viewpoint? Okay. all of your, first of all, I love the energy of your batch. Amazing energy. You know, second is all of you were bang on. Everybody spoke in their line very clearly, you know, like why they think the approach is correct. Like Kavita, her explanation is correct from the way she explained. All of you with DB also explained it correctly from your perspective. Okay. But the real life is very different. I will tell you, this has been a pain point project for us. When we did the job scraper, you know, thing, see, there is no data transformation much happening beyond the scrapers, you know, picking up the data, doing the transformation and loading into the CSV. From the CSV, beyond that, not much of transformation was happening. So what we thought is CSV is a straightforward process. Let's go ahead and straight away load from CSV. Why bother about a DB? Anything is in the CSV is going to show in the UI, in the web page. Why bother about the database? All right. So we did not have a database. That worked fine until you know what happened. And this has nothing to do with system. The discussion we are happening right now is called a system design discussion. Okay, system design is something you will learn in project sessions. It's almost impossible to teach system design theoretically because it depends on so many factors that classical system design books they don't even touch the surface of, you know, scratch the surface of system design. So initially we had thought, okay, but by the way, all of you DB people who all supported DB, CSVs are faster than DB. Read write operations to a file theoretically is faster than it is to a database. Remember that, because the file is local, the file can be very quickly copied. We had a file that was literally a tiny file in the beginning. All right, so it wasn't a big deal. The file could be copied and, you know, it was getting, you know, loaded very quickly. The issue was Amazon S3 is where we were storing. S3 is an instance. S3 is basically a storage space of Amazon where we were storing this file. You guys have not seen our Amazon instances. You will, when you start working on project, you will get access to AWS. You will work on entire deployment on AWS. Right now, these hackathons and everything that happened, everybody, you know, deployed to AWS. Everything runs on AWS for us. When we did this copying to S3, that S3 instance was erratic. Sometimes speeds were good, sometimes speeds were not good. So even though files are faster, because of S3, things were not working properly. We had many problems with AWS. AWS is really, really painful, you know, has been very painful journey with them. So what we did, fine, we will go ahead and do database, which is against the popular narrative that files are faster than DB. Classical system design, files are faster than DB. Okay. When we moved to DB, guess what happened? The integration of PostgreSQL, we were using PostgreSQL and Heroku was where our, you know, deployments were. The integration of PostgreSQL, Heroku, and AWS was a nightmare. So even though steady state, we might feel that the DB will be faster because S3 instance was slowing down. Not that it is faster than files, but the S3 instance was slow. What was happening? We lost a lot of time just getting the DB ready because there were compatibility issues between Heroku and PostgreSQL. Although they are married, they are like, you know, they are created together. You know, they are fully compatible. Still, there were so many integration issues, and then Amazon. So, thing is, when a person, so what did we do? We kept both. We kept failover. Failovers means we will stick to S3, but we will keep doing periodic copies of the S3 of the file to PostgreSQL, the database. And we will keep running from S3. The moment S3 takes time out, if there is a longer like time taking more than, and I think it was put as 15 seconds or not, I forgot. If it is taking longer, then I switch over to DB. DB was also more expensive. DB calls are expensive. You know, DB is not free. CSV is free. Understand that licensing cost also matters for a company. Expensive database is expensive. files are free. Okay, so when you look at all of this, this is the engineering problem now. Things S3 is slow, DB connectivity, is there are issues with the connectivity. What do we do? Okay, fine, come up with a failover system. So have a mix and match of both, and depending on which one is performing better when, let the system pick it up. The system will always first go to the CSV. If the CSV is taking longer than 15 something, I think it was 15 seconds or something, then go ahead and pick it up from the DB is what we implemented. Worked fine after that. You see how we quickly went from thinking in one direction to actually implementing that and figuring out there are challenges in that, then figuring out the alternate, and then also figuring out the alternate has issues, and then coming up with an engineering solution that has a balance of both. See, life is not perfect, right? Life is not perfect. Our parents did an amazing job of balancing things so that we grew up. Otherwise, if they had pushed us in one direction, we would have never been, successful, right? Same thing you're doing to your kids. Life is not perfect. You'll always have to come up with some solution that has a balance. You can't be just going in one direction and sticking your head and say, no, we will only do DB. You will only do DB. What will happen? First of all, your licensing cost balloons. You have to think about that. Your DBs are not DB calls, they charge per call. Hundreds and thousands of users becomes really, really expensive. First thing is that you start incurring costs. The second thing that happens is there are compatibility issues. Every time PostgreSQL there is an update, you have to update it, update the patch, update the security, update everything. All of those things have to be updated. Okay, so there are real life challenges. So these kind of things are where the interviewer is expecting. This is why training is not enough. Real life, why some people say, why do they need real life experience? Somebody has to start somewhere. Yes, somebody has to start somewhere. But real life experience is needed. Otherwise, the company is not doing charity here, right? They have to also move forward. A person does not understand these problems, does not have a clear head of solving them, the project will never advance. Project will never advance. Right? So these are the kind of things you will learn when you join project discussions. These can never be covered in training. If you ask this to me in training, I will tell you CSVs are faster, cheaper, go ahead with CSVs. There is nothing much of, you're not running a data warehouse here, that there is a ETL going on, in extraction, transformation, loading going on, or there are any schemas out there, nothing. Very straightforward. It is pulling some fields from a resume and it is showing it in the UI stage. Very simple. Same thing is you're pulling some data from the scrapers and then showing to the UI page. Simple. But that same discussion when it comes to having in project discussions, I don't know, we spent I think 2 months doing this migration. This migration is just got over. Anshu updated in the last call, just got over. DB migration project. If you guys go to, you'll get access to our old Jira. Now everything is on Trello. All of you will have access to Trello. You will see your jobs, you will see everything. But I'll also give you access to our Jira, which was what we were using earlier. You will see all these. DB migration was a complete project. 7 people worked on it. All right. So very, very, very important to join project discussions. Only in some days you're not able to, something happened, kid not well, or it is getting too much. Let your group members give the updates. But please, all of you work on it. Okay. All right. So tomorrow, please join class. Tomorrow is the project discussion. Please join that. It is 1 hour. I will not know when your turn will come, but your turn will come. Okay, when your turn will come, be ready to speak. Be available for that 1 hour. It might feel like, oh, other groups are giving updates. I'm just sitting and wasting time. Not at all. Listen to their conversations. Every project group has something that the other groups can learn from. Trust me, we run into so many issues. We run into so many issues. And these are all like, you will see most of the things that are taught theoretically when it comes to real life. the approach that has to be taken is different, does not work. It's not black and white as much as, like theoretical training is very black and white. When it comes to project work, sometimes you'll run contrary to the general advice, and sometimes you strike a balance. Like we ran to the contrary to the general advice. We started doing DBs because CSVs were not working, and then we had to strike a balance somewhere. Came up with the failovers. Failovers are an amazing way to impress interviewers. Failovers means mix of two approaches. It is expensive because you have to do two approaches, but ensures high availability. In today's world, availability is more important. It's not just enough to have a service. It's not just enough that a software works. The software should be available whenever you need it. The downtime cannot be more than a few milliseconds in a day, which means you will have to have lots and lots and lots of failovers. One fails, another approach picks up. One fails, another approach picks up. So that at any point of time, anybody coming in, they have the software working. All right. Any questions up to now? Did you guys understand what I explained here?
Hi Tim, I understood like database and CSV, but I have very negligible knowledge of SQL or database or CSV, so I am really worried if I would be able to cope up with the project thing at all.
Yes, you will be able to cope up with the project. You don't need SQL knowledge for it. You will be able to cope up with the project. You will whatever little SQL knowledge is needed, you will learn it, but you will be able to cope up. Don't worry. Okay, we are just starting we will just begin with some API projects, and then your Selenium training, once it is over, we will begin working on Selenium projects. By the time your advanced API projects will also be going on. It's a journey. So if any prerequisite was needed, I would have told you. The prerequisite is what we did. Whatever we did with SOAP-UI so far is what the prerequisites were. After that, it is every learning will happen on the project work itself. That's why these classes are so important. Don't worry. Okay.
Okay. Thanks.
As long as you are trying every day, you may not succeed. Even if you're not succeeding every day, even if you don't succeed for a month, as long as you are trying every day, you will be able to go on and get a job. The success has many other aspects involved, which may or may not be in your control. So there is this beautiful word lines in Bhagavad Gita, which essentially means that you can only put in your work. You do not have control on the results. You have no say in the results. You only have control on what you are working on. Put in your effort. The results will come, but that is up to God. This is what Lord Krishna taught, Arjuna in the battlefield. So as long as you are trying, which means coming to the project work every day and trying something, trying, you will succeed. But if you come and think that I will succeed today, and if you don't succeed, you get dejected, and you don't show up the next day because you're feeling dejected, you will fail. The whole secret of this universe is do one or two things only, put in your entire concentration there, and keep trying. That's it. That's the secret of universe. Very few people understand this. Think about a magnifying lens. Sun cannot burn paper, but if you put a magnifying lens, a tiny magnifying lens can burn paper. Think about concentration. A drop of acid can burn. That is concentration. Doing a nail, a hammer, you have a nail, you put hammer on it, the nail penetrates the wall. The hammer cannot penetrate the wall, or you can just slap the wall, it is not going to work. You need concentration. Concentrated activity over a period of time will lead to results. This is the one secret of the world. Very simple. Very few people understand this. People think, let me do too many things and let me see if I can get some results. That's absolutely the wrong way. The correct way is do one thing and just keep doing it. The results are guaranteed to come. Results are guaranteed to come. But you don't have a say on when they will come. They will come in a big way. All you have to do is keep trying, keep trying, keep trying. Every day come and fail in the projects. Every day come and fail in the projects. Fail, 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 but keep failing. Think about it as the task is to fail. Come and just, it's not that you will purposely fail. Just come and say, okay, I failed, let me go. No. Keep trying, but fail. Fail enough times. Okay. And then the big success will come. Nobody can stop it. Nobody can stop it. All right. So project works will be a lot of project will be a lot of strenuous activity, a lot of scratching. This is where you can Google, you can YouTube, you can do whatever if you are stuck. This is the only place where trying to solve a problem, you can go and find resources. If not, we have the sessions. We can discuss, somebody or the other might have that solution. Or you have Stack Overflow and Stack Exchange. What I tell people is before investigating a problem, go to Stack Overflow and Stack Exchange and describe the problem and ask if somebody has the solution. Chances are either Stack Overflow already will have somebody has answered that and they will send it to you, or by the time you have progressed a little bit on the solutioning, somebody would find the solution for you. Every developer, every IT professional, especially developers, use Stack Overflow and Stack Exchange. You guys should use that as well. This is a time where, to solve a particular problem, any number of reading up or any number of, referencing is perfectly fine. It's opposite of the training world. In training world, whatever is taught in the classes, focus on it. Don't digress, because it will feel like there's an ocean out there. There is an ocean out there. Training world, focus on the classes. When it comes to project, focus on solving the problem. For solving the problem, whatever you need, you can find it on the internet. All right. Who is caller 01? Caller 01. Okay. All right. So yeah. So day after tomorrow, we will not have this class. Tomorrow we will have class, the project session in the same time. Day after tomorrow, either day after tomorrow, Jayanti will begin with all of you, or we will not have class. The next project session will be on Thursday, and then Friday, Mondays are holidays, your classes. Again, Tuesday, you will have your project sessions, and then the next day, your Jayanti classes will begin. All right, Selenium, it is going to be Selenium with Java. Don't need any Java background. Whatever little Java is needed for Selenium is taught in that class. Beyond that, if you want to practice Java, I will ask you, just like I asked last week, some of you who are comfortable with Java programming, who do not have IT background or whatever, come forward. We will work on a new project. Same thing I will ask you guys at that time, come forward. But until then, nothing, just go with an open mind. Practice, learn Selenium. Jayanti has 14 years of experience. She worked with me. I was the engagement manager for her when we were in JP Morgan Chase. She was an automation architect then. Now she is with Accenture. She is an automation architect and a manager. Along with that, she is also trains people. She trains people coming out from BCom and BA backgrounds. 2 weeks of training is provided by her on Selenium Java, and then they are deployed in projects in Accenture. So she is very well versed with training people who have zero backgrounds, BA, BCom. These people probably never used a computer also before. These people, she's very well versed in training. Extract the most out of it. She's a very patient trainer. She's very particular also, extract the most out of the training. And it takes about 4 weeks for her to finish the classes. So yeah, about 4 weeks of classes. You guys will do 4 into 3 days a week classes will be 12 classes. Okay. All right. Now let's take a look at these links. Can you all please collate these links and put it in a spreadsheet and share it in the main group as editable? There is SDET11 also working on the same thing. They will also be part of the project. They will also update their part. And then what we will do is we will see which ones are the good ones and we will begin implementing them. You guys will be paired with API developers. These developers will basically implement the API and you guys will be responsible for testing it. Some of you who have dev background, you can work as a developer come tester, both. Both on this project. API testing is very, very important for an SDET. Almost all jobs for SDETs need API testing, and it's also very high paying. Do a good job of it. The beauty is it is easy. It is damn easy. It's much easier than Selenium testing. But not many people know about it. They are not aware of it. So demand is there, supply is not there. So take advantage of this gap and go get jobs. That's what most of the people, out of the 9 people who got jobs, in March, 7 are working in API testing. 7, either development or testing. So 2 are working in Selenium. Okay, all right. Any questions?
Tim, I have something, so I'm just trying to understand, the dynamics of how things are going to work going forward. So you said, like the project sessions, right? So that's going to be 2 days a week. And typically, we are all working as a group, right? So that each group will be actually working with an API, like a developer. That's what you mean, like we'll be assigned somebody?
Yes, each group is actually a project. So what might happen is the project groups work very different from class groups. Suppose in a class group we have 4 people. Okay. Now suppose there are 2 other people also working on the same API. All right. So 2 plus 4, 6 people are assigned a project. You guys will get your own project code. Okay. That group will have 1 developer. Each group has a developer. We have enough developers now. Okay. So each group will get a developer. So the developer is responsible for implementing the API. You guys will not implement API because that needs to some extent Python and Java knowledge. Okay, so they will implement the API. You guys will do the testing for it. So it is just like a project group, 1 developer or 2 developers and rest of them are testers.
So the testing is basically done in Postman or, like the SOAP?
Mostly you can use SOAP, but also Postman is also fine.
Okay.
So it's very easy when it comes to these, when it comes to these APIs, Postman and SOAP. Postman is easier to do things, but we teach SOAP in the initial classes because some companies ask for SOAP. So most of the times you will have knowledge of 3 tools: SOAP, Postman, Rest Assured. Depending on whichever you need. If it's a WSDL, most cases it's not a WSDL, it's not a SOAP. But if it's a SOAP, you'll use SOAP UI, or else Postman is good enough.
Okay, so the project bridge is typically driven by you, or
Me.
Okay,
Project
got it.
discussions are completely me. Yes.
Okay.
But you have Scrum Masters. There are 2 Scrum Masters for you guys. Neha is there, and Neha is from SDET09. She is both a Scrum Master and also a product manager. She has worked as a product manager before. Now she has a degree from University of Washington as a product manager. She's also a Scrum Master. Kalyani is also a Scrum Master. Kalyani is basically the Scrum Master who has been handling everything right now, but it is too much for her. So Neha is taking over some of the projects from her. We also have Sania. She is also a Scrum Master, but I have not deployed her in any Scrum management work right now because
Okay.
we don't need that many Scrum Masters now, but if needed, I will put her as well. We have enough Scrum Masters also.
Okay. Okay.
All the people who are being deployed in certain activities come with significant experience. Kalyani right now is working as a Scrum Master in Capital One. So people who are assigned to something come with that many years of experience. They have current working experience or significant working experience in that field. So it is no different from like working in a company. They know exactly what they're doing really well.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you.
Okay, Tim, I have a
Same
question.
Same thing here. Like say Usha has a DBA experience. So if we need DBA, there is nobody better than Usha doing it for us, right? So we will need a DBA at some point. It is going to get crazy. We didn't have very good experience with PostgreSQL, and Amazon, last time. So we will definitely need DBAs to work on it. So at the time, I'll ask Usha. Usha comes with good number of years of experience with working as a DBA. We have Monica here. Monica has experience working, in the past as a web designer. When I need web designing work, she will be working on. I need web designing work right now. We are working on designing something. So people who have worked in the past come forward, and we have enough work. Every function we need people. Be it data science, be it machine learning, be it data analytics, be it API, be it Selenium, whatever we need people. Be it programmers, Java programmers, Python programmers. A project work needs everything. The things will take a turn there. When it comes to working in projects, you will realize that it's very, very, very different. But nothing to fear. Like I said, come and try. Don't have to succeed. Even if you're not succeeding for a month, it doesn't matter. Okay, any other questions?
Tim, I took training in web designing, but I didn't have any work experience.
That is okay. Understood. That's fine.
Tim, I wanted to ask, there is a change in schedule just for this week, or is it going to be the same way like Tuesdays and Thursdays?
No, so this will continue for the whole 1 month of training that Jayanti will take. Okay, so Jayanti trains for about 4 weeks. 4 weeks of training is, there for Selenium. For that 4 weeks, which is 1 month, you will have 5 days. After that, it will go back to 2 days a week, which are your project discussions. After that, there are no classes. It's all project, till you get a job.
No. I mean to say that, is it going to be like, are we going to engage this same timing for a week? Because I have other, I have other schedules on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So I was just confirming it with you.
If you have other schedules on Tuesdays and Thursdays, then let your group member come and give the updates, but do work on the projects.
Yeah, that can be done, yes.
Yes. But again, I don't know what you're doing, but I will tell this to everyone, don't take up anything else. This is very, very intense program. It will not leave you time beyond this other than to just eat and spend little time with your families and then just to work, because we basically are crunching a lot of work in 3 months, and understand that October hiring will slow down, and next year until February no hiring will happen. So you guys will graduate another 1.5 months from now, or max 2 months. So say 1.5 months or 2 months means your July, August is gone. Okay, so September is 1 month you get, and October little bit, and then November complete, gone everything, Thanksgiving, and no jobs after that. So you are rushing against a deadline. Be super duper focused. Like I said, be that magnifying lens, do very few things and do it really well. Trust me, if you just do API, forget Selenium. If you just do API testing projects for the next 1.5 months, nobody can stop you from getting $100,000 plus job. Nobody can stop you. If you just do that, That's what Pratibha is doing. And that's what Revati is doing. That's it. Just API, nothing else. Nothing else. No Selenium there, nothing is there. Just that. And both of them do get very high salaries. The thing is that be super duper focused. Don't try to do too many things and see where I will get a job. That is called as a spray and pray approach. Spray means you sprayed around your resume and you prayed that you'll get a job. Does not work. So be super duper focused. If you're picking up something, if you started something before this program had started and you have to finish it, it is okay, inevitable. But don't take up anything else. You know, this is a mistake I see with many people putting their hands everywhere and does not work. All right.
No, I'm not starting anything new. I just want to finish what I started. So I was,
Got it.
I
Got it.
am
Perfect.
logged on, yeah, on the other day. So that's what I wanted to confirm. I could borrow the timing till 8:30, but after that, it would be hard.
Okay, that's okay. Those 2 days, let your team member update, but do work on the project. Just the update.
Yeah, that's not
sake
issue.
somebody
Yes,
else
yes.
can. Yeah, that's fine.
Hi,
Okay.
Tim.
Any other questions?
Like, we have done SOAP UI a bit, but I don't have any knowledge like for Postman. So should we?
Got it.
Should
Do this. Do this. Do this. Whatever you've done in SOAP UI, you know, the first thing is basically addition, deletion, whatever that calculator one thing you did. Then you created test cases and all of that. Sit for 2 hours, look at Postman and do it. It will not even take you 2 hours to finish it. Whatever you have learned in SOAP UI, doing the same thing in Postman is literally 1 to 2 hours of work. You can do it. Every group has been able to. If you are facing an issue, ping in the main group asking, I have a question. This is where I'm stuck with Selenium in Postman. Can somebody help? Plenty of people out there will help you. Okay.
Okay. So was Kavita supposed to take one session of SOAP UI?
Kavita's, I think, sessions are complete, right? Oh, the assertions one. The assertions
Yeah,
one.
I completed only for SDET 11, Tim. You know, like I have assertions that needs to be done for my batch.
Okay, so let's do this. If day after tomorrow, can you guys do this? Can you do it in any other time? If not, day after tomorrow, we will have it during the project discussion time. We will have the assertion class. How about that?
I would be good with any timing suitable for Kavita.
Yeah, Tim, you know, like you know, like tomorrow we are going to be joining the project session, right? So Tuesday,
Yes.
and then Wednesday, you know, like are we going to start Jayanti is ready with, you know, like you said, with Selenium
No, I
classes?
will ask Jayanti to postpone. Jayanti is still wrapping up the, you know, SDET 10, SDET 05 classes. So it is fine. You know, you can take it. Okay. Do the assertion.
Yeah, then Wednesday's class, you know, like probably I'll complete, you know, wrap up assertions, and then, you know, like we should be ready, you know, for Selenium the following week.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Cool.
Okay.
All right. Any
so
other
tomorrow
things?
The same time?
Tomorrow same time, yes.
Okay.
And the bridge is still the same, right, Tim, for everything?
Yes, bridge is the
same. Okay.
All the best to all of you for the projects. It is a lot of fun, lot of pain also, but trust me, just 1.5 2 months, do it. After that, see how getting jobs, you know, getting interview calls, all of these processes significantly get accelerated. You will actually have an issue. A problem that most people face is too many interview calls. Along with that, a project work needs to go on. If you stop working on projects and you think I will just focus on interviews, you will make a big mistake. The reason for that is the day-to-day work of your project is what your preparation is. The questions that you will get are all from the projects. There are no questions outside the projects. So if you're currently working on the project, you know the nitty-gritty of the project. Your answers are literally on your lips because you literally were fighting, you know, working the project when the interview call was starting, you know. So you have everything current in your head. So you're not closing your eyes and trying to come up with some fancy answer there. Many people make that mistake. Oh, Tim, classes are over. Now I'll prepare for interview. There's no interview preparation. In real world, people work on companies, then they submit a resume to another company. That company interviews them on what they have done in the previous company. If they like it, they take you. Simple. 99.99% times, there is barely any interview preparation happening in these cases because people know what they're doing in their projects. Nobody knows more than that. Little bit of brushing up here and there is okay. But there is no interview preparation. So please continue working. So that's the first kind of problem you will have. Second kind of problem is once you have these interviews going on, you will see third round, fourth round cleared for so many companies. Offer letter is not coming. Anxiety, anxiety, anxiety. Like, oh my God, who is going to give me the offer? So many interviews I'm giving, offer letter is not coming. Typically, between the last round and offer letter, it takes a little bit of time. You have to be patient. Everybody goes through that anxiety phase. Then the offer letters come in. Then the issue is, which one should I take? Most people jump on the very first opportunity, the first offer letter. That is a blunder. When the time comes, I will show you. Many people made that mistake and then they joined the company. Then they asked me, Tim, you were right. Now I have another offer, $25,000, 30,000 higher than the current one. Should I leave this company in 2 weeks and join there? No, please don't do that. Please don't do that. Unless it is an Amazon, Facebook, Netflix kind of company, please don't do that. Learn wherever you have joined, especially if you joined a startup, learn as much as possible, then gallop. But don't leave a company in 3 weeks. Very, very bad. They were the first to give you a chance. Don't do that. Even if you're getting $20,000 less, it is okay. It is okay. You will be able to make up that money when you jump the next time. Trust me. All right. So many at that time that kind of issues will happen. Then you join a company, start working. Then also you will send me so many messages. Tim, need your prayers. This has come up. Need that. Need this. Will happen because the stress is there, and the stress is exactly what we prepare here in this project. The stress will be there. New things, new technologies, things you have not ever heard because most companies use some proprietary tools that you cannot be, outside the company nobody knows. So you have to learn those tools very quickly. Many people are working on API testing tools which are their own homegrown tools, similar to Postman, but not exactly Postman. To learn those and start working. So all of these things are very, very important. So it is a grind, but it will get over very soon. It will get over very soon, very quickly, and then the good things will happen. All right, cool. Any other questions?
Tim, we were supposed to learn assertions from Kavita.
Assertions, Kavita, is the next class, right? No, I didn't understand what you're saying.
Usha, we just discussed, like 5 minutes back about what was the plan, I'm not sure if you missed that one.
Yes, my connection got lost, so I joined back.
Oh, okay. Wednesday. Yeah, we'll have that session on Wednesday.
Okay.
All right. Anything else? Fine. So all the best for all of you. Tomorrow is your first project discussion. Please come with a spreadsheet that has this list of APIs. Have a column that says paid, unpaid. If it is paid, what is the tiers, free tiers? Most companies have a free tier, like up to this much, it is free. After that, they will start charging. That is one. The second thing is it will also ask, it will also say what documents are needed for preparation of for getting the API access. Make a list of all of those things, and share that spreadsheet, a Google sheet, in an editable form in the main Telegram group, Tips Classes group. I will ask SDET 11. Most of them have already joined. They will update their part. Then we will go ahead and do some bit of a consolidation and start working on it. Okay. All right, folks. Take care. Have a good night. I'll see you guys in the next class. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Start 11 will begin in a bit.
Folks, I'm going to restart this bridge. Just log back in, please.